It's ridiculous. I go by the rules and I'm stuck.
More than ever, Canadians relied on their government during the global pandemic, even if that sometimes meant long lines and wait times for essential public services.
Someone has to come here and make changes because it's only going to get worse.
Ottawa spent hundreds of billions responding to COVID-19 challenges, beefing up overburdened departments like the Canada Revenue Agency and Public Health, and in the process, created the biggest and most expensive federal workforce in Canadian history. In the first 2 years of the pandemic, the public service added 35,000 jobs, a 12% increase, sending payroll costs soaring by as much as $8 billion, according to some estimates. Ottawa now employs a record 335,000 bureaucrats. That doesn't include 28,000 who are on long-term leave, with many still receiving health coverage and other benefits.
The government is just getting bigger.
Kevin Page, a former parliamentary budget officer, now heads a think tank on public financing. He wonders if anyone in Ottawa is paying attention.
There is no strategic human resource plan, for the government of Canada, some kind of holistic sort of plan that we need to grow. There's not evidence one way or another whether or not we've made really good hiring decisions.
The supercharged growth of government is also a concern for private sector lobby groups.
Gosh, we're into some lean economic times, potentially heading into a recession. A giant civil service is not going to help us in terms of remaining lean enough to be able to respond to challenges and prevent further tax increases to pay for it all.
But economists like Armin Yelnizyan note there's always a price for delivering the services that people need and want.
What would you cut if you didn't want to add that cost? What kind of services would you not want? Maybe less emergency pandemic response income supports, maybe fewer wage subsidies, maybe fewer temporary foreign workers, maybe less training or EI.
The federal government insists they're watching the bottom line, telling CBC News they're focused on delivering support for Canadians while responsibly managing public funds. But the most meaningful numbers, like average salary, haven't been updated in over 3 years. Back then, the cost of a public servant to taxpayers was already $121,000 a year, a figure that has surely grown, now multiplied by 35,000 new hires. Jonathan Gatehouse, CBC News, Toronto.